This is a shocking major case that took 16 years to solve. And it is also the real-life inspiration for the story Son of Self-Reliance in Crime File TV. 16 years ago, he was beaten to death with a hammer by a contractor over political reasons and secretly buried under the school playground. Although everyone knew the truth, no one dared to expose it. 16 years later, the case was finally solved, and all the forces behind it were completely eliminated. This is the playground corpse burial case that shocked the entire nation. In 2002, Xinhuang County in Hunan Province was preparing to hold the 50th anniversary celebration at Xinhuang No. 1 High School, and to transition into a senior high school. Xinhuang No. 1 High School decided to level the back hill of the school to build a standard sports field. At that time, the principal of Xinhuang No. 1 was Huang Bingsong, and the contractor in charge of the playground construction was Deng Shiping. The two were uncle and nephew. Before that, Deng Shiping had no contracting experience. He secured the project thanks to his uncle, the school principal. The person responsible for supervising the project quality was a teacher from Xinhuang No. 1 High School's logistics department, named Deng Shiping, who was 53 years old. The original tender contract for the project was worth 800,000 yuan. After the contract was signed, Deng Shiping and Huang Bingsong secretly colluded, illegally changing the contract amount to 1,400,000 yuan. Before the project was completed, the school had already paid Deng Shiping over 1,400,000 yuan. This caused Deng Shiping to raise concerns, believing the school should not have paid so much. Deng Shiping was a man of strong principles, very upright. During the playground construction, a slope leading to the playground was just built the day before, but heavy rain the next day washed it all away. Deng Shiping was very dissatisfied with this, and said he would report it to the county authorities. Afterwards, Deng Shiping refused to sign off on any substandard work, which caused Deng Shiping a lot of trouble. Deng Shiping held a grudge, and later, the Education Bureau received another complaint letter from a teacher regarding the playground's construction quality. At that time, Deng Shiping suspected the letter was written by Deng Shiping. Because the project could not pass inspection for a long time, Deng Shiping naturally could not collect the payment. Because of this, he had repeatedly been at the construction site, threatening Deng Shiping over construction quality. Too fierce. I want to take him down. On January 22, 2003, after planning, Deng Shiping, along with the project manager he hired, Luo Guangzhong, killed Deng Shiping with a hammer inside the construction command office. After killing Deng Shiping, the two buried the body in a pit on the playground. The next day, in heavy rain, they hurriedly filled the pit. Deng Shiping did not return all night, which made his family very anxious. Moreover, Deng Shiping had never stayed out without reason before, which made them even more certain that something had happened to him. The next day, the Deng family came to the school and met a teacher named Yao Benying. According to his recollection, the noon before last, he and Deng Shiping were in the construction command office. Later, someone called him out of the office and gave him some oranges. He did not say that teacher Deng was still upstairs and wanted to play chess with him. Then several workers came and grabbed Yao Benying, not letting him leave, but he still broke free. After he walked toward the office, he was never seen again. Deng Shiping. The Deng family then went to the principal, Huang Bingping, to ask about his whereabouts. Huang Dingsong also did not know where Deng Shiping had gone, mobilizing over 70 teachers from the entire school to search. During this period, there were many rumors. Some said Deng Shiping embezzled funds and fled. Others said he ran away from home. But clearly, these claims were completely unreliable, because in Deng Shiping's diary, he often expressed worries and dissatisfaction over construction quality, adding that Deng Shiping hurriedly covered up the big pit on the playground after Deng Shiping disappeared. These signs made Deng's family suspicious. These signs caused the Deng family to suspect foul play. Deng Shiping had been murdered, and obviously, they could not find him on their own. Good. The Deng family handed these clues over to the Xinhuang County Public Security Bureau. The reply we received was, "Deng Shiping is missing. There is not enough evidence of a crime, so no case can be filed." This elderly woman in her 90s is Deng Shiping's mother. She was also a teacher, but now she suffers from dementia. In 2003, she wrote a letter asking for help and sent it to the relevant authorities. In the letter, she said, "I believe Deng Shiping's disappearance is not an ordinary missing case, but very likely a murder." On January 24th, a bulldozer worked at the site for over 20 minutes, filling in 2 pits. "I think this might be the place where Deng Shiping's body was buried." The details in the letter are very thorough and highly credible and verifiable. The Provincial Public Security Bureau leaders signed the letter, requesting a thorough excavation of the 2 abnormal pits mentioned by Deng. In April of 2003, the Hunan Provincial Public Security Department ordered the formation of a special task force for this case, appointing Yang Shuiwen, then Deputy Director of Hunan Public Security Bureau, as team leader. Even the serious matter involving Du Shaoping, to evade legal punishment, together with his influential uncle locally, Huang Bingsong, Du Shaoping's middle school classmate, and Yang Jun, then political commissar of Xinhuang County Public Security Bureau, schemed and covered up crimes, knowing that Du Shaoping was the murderer, yet they colluded with each other to shield him. During the investigation, they deliberately delayed the thorough excavation of the bloodied and suspected burial pits. Relevant evidence was not submitted promptly for examination, nor properly reported to superiors, and key clues were concealed. Yang Shuiwen, Deputy Director of Hunan Public Security Bureau, and Jiang Aiguo, Director of Xinhuang Public Security Bureau, accepted bribes from Huang Bingsong and others during the case, ultimately classifying the case as a missing persons case. When responding to the Deng family, they said Deng Shiping ran away from home, and the family held significant responsibility. The case was determined to be a missing person case, and no case was filed. Fearing further retaliation, the Deng family moved away from Xinhuang. Since then, Du Shaoping and others have remained free from punishment. Over 16 years, Deng Shiping's wife endured great hardships, raising their son and daughter, suffering mental torment, and living in poverty. Meanwhile, Du Shaoping in Xinhuang was still living luxuriously. Later, it was learned that Du Shaoping and his gang were a notorious local criminal gang, and to protect his assets, he divorced his wife, transferring all his properties and savings to her name. Du Shaoping graduated from Xinhuang No. 1 High School in 1978, working as a lathe operator, technician, and salesperson. After being laid off, he opened a hardware store locally and helped his father with railway repair business, which boomed. This is how he earned his first pot of gold. 2 years after building the sports field, in 2005, Du Shaoping opened a KTV named Yelang Valley and formed a criminal gang. Expanding his illegal operations, Du Shaoping was extremely ruthless. According to Cao Wan, a manager who once worked at Yelang Valley, she was dissatisfied with Du Shaoping's attitude at the time, though she had brought many customers to him. But in March of 2006, Cao Wan was invited by another karaoke bar owner, and she quit Yelang Valley to transfer there. Before that, Cao Wan had a serious talk with Du Shaoping, and Du Shaoping's response to her leaving was immediate and unquestioning acceptance. However, after Cao Wan transferred, under her influence, some customers also followed her to the other karaoke bar. Du Shaoping was displeased and ordered 2 men to ambush along Cao Wan's route after work, throwing acid on her face, which disfigured Cao Wan. After 2 suspects were arrested to protect their boss, the 2 took full responsibility voluntarily. Not only that, Du Shaoping would force loan borrowers to jump into icy rivers in winter over debts of 3,000 to 4,000 yuan. When the person was near drowning, he would pull them back up. Finally, in 2019, the 16th Central Anti-Crime Task Force entered Xinhuang County, Hunan, and the notorious ruthless Du Shaoping gang was the first to be cracked down on by the public security authorities. At the same time, Deng Shiping, Deng Ling, the daughter, handed in the complaint letter, and the supervision team forwarded it to the Hunan police. ordering them to reinvestigate the Deng Shiping case. At the end of May 2019, the Huaihua police officially filed this case for investigation. Most of the workers involved in the playground construction had since passed away, except for Deng Shiping. Only 2 individuals remained. The public security authorities summoned the 2 surviving involved persons to the police station for questioning, one of whom was Luo Guangzhong, who participated in the murder of Deng Shiping. Luo Guangzhong quickly confessed to all criminal facts and revealed the exact location where Deng Shiping was buried. On June 18, 2019, the excavator began digging at the playground of Xinhuang County 1 middle school. However, the playground was very large, and after a long time since the work started, there was no news at all. The next day, Deng Shiping's daughter, Deng Ling, was very anxious. Ignoring all obstacles, she arrived at the site. At 6 in the evening that day, after Deng Shiping's skull was excavated by machinery, investigators began manual excavation, continuing until 11 at night. Other parts of the victim's body were also found. Faced with the ironclad evidence, Deng Shiping admitted to killing Deng Shiping over engineering quality issues back then. Wang Bingsong, Yang Jun, and others were also arrested. In December 2019, the Huaihua Intermediate People's Court in Hunan sentenced Deng Shiping to death, and Huang Bingsong, Yang Jun, and more than 10 others involved were sentenced to fixed-term imprisonment for dereliction of duty and corruption. Sentences ranged from 10 to 15 years. In 2020, Deng Shiping was recognized as having suffered an occupational injury, and his family received a one-time compensation amounting to 880,000 yuan. On January 20, 2020, Deng Shiping was executed. It is worth mentioning that, in the playground burial case, the former Deputy County Party Secretary, Long Shenglan, received a debt collection text message, and after reporting it to the police, investigation discovered that during Long Shenglan's detention period, the disciplinary committee officer in charge of the case used Long Shenglan's phone, borrowing a total of 350,000 yuan from various lending platforms. Ultimately, this officer was sentenced to 4 years.